such a time as this.
And welcome back to For Such a Time as This. I'm your host, Pastor James Pittman. I have with me via Zoom a special guest. It is Vicki Wilson. She is the spokesperson for D211 Parents for Privacy. That is a local group in Palatine that is very vocal. Thank you, Vicki, for being on For Such a Time as This.
Thank you for having me.
Well, this Thursday, September 19th, 2019, there's going to be a very special meeting at Palatine High School introducing a radical new policy. For those of you who are familiar with the show, you know that for such a time as this is a ministry of New Hope Community Church, and we are in the northwest suburbs of Chicago, which means we are in the Socialist Republic of Illinois. This new radical policy, if you remember back in between October and December of 2015, it was the district in which the Obama administration threatened to take away federal funding if the district did not cave to federal pressure and allow boys in locker rooms. Well, here we are 4 years later, and now it seems like they're going further to the left, and we brought Vicki here to explain. Vicki, what's going to happen September 19th?
What's going to happen is the first reading of a radical new policy. What's interesting, this time there is no threat of federal funding, of course. The Trump administration rolled back Obama's illegal and unconstitutional guidance, and of course along that with the threat of any removal of federal funding. So what the district's been doing for the last 4 years is what they call limited access, which is still a major violation of privacy.
Now, what do you mean by limited access to transgender girls' locker room?
If the student is a biological male, he has access to the girls' locker room. Mm-hmm. He gets to walk past the girls while they are getting undressed on his way to the privacy screen that he is supposed to change behind. So it's still a violation.
Yes.
But now with their new policy, no privacy screen. He's not going to be required to change behind a privacy screen. He can change right next to the girls. Girls.
You're saying a biological male with male anatomy can change right next to females in locker rooms now?
That's the proposed policy that Dr. Daniel Cates is wanting to get passed. And apparently he feels like he has enough votes to get this done. So Thursday is the first reading.
Why are they doing this? I believe in 2015 you said that the Obama administration threatened to take away funding. Well, the Trump administration is not threatening to take away funding, correct? Then why are they doing this? Why?
That's a great question. We can't figure it out. It doesn't make any sense. So that's why parents really need to come out and express their opposition to this. It's a truly, truly insane policy. And girls that have politely objected and treated their classmates with kindness and respect, as we are called to do, and to show Christ's love, they are being bullied and harassed, and it's not right. There is an easy way to protect and respect all students equally. And the district has refused to do that for 4 years, and now with this new policy, it's going to become much, much worse. And we can't let this stand.
Wow.
So we're doing everything we can to get the community out, current families, future families. This policy hurts. It especially hurts vulnerable populations like sexual abuse survivors.
Who are now going to be forced to change next to a biological male.
Right. Or they'll be told, well, if you don't like it, leave. That's what's been happening. They tell the girls, they chase them out of their own locker room, and they tell them, if you don't like it, leave. School administrators are supposed to prevent bullying, and the last 4 years, which is really mind-blowing to watch, they've been actually participating in this bullying.
Unbelievable.
And again, there's a way to protect and respect all these kids equally. But basically what this policy does is eliminate all sex-specific spaces. The boys' locker room won't be a boys' locker room anymore, and the girls' locker room won't be a girls' locker room anymore. It will be chaos. And I've talked to girls who go there, and they are uncomfortable, clearly, obviously, for very good reason. And they said what the administrators do is they shame these girls who object to this. And that is even as much or a bigger issue for me personally, is that these girls are being shamed into having very normal feelings of privacy and modesty. And it's really, really, really horrible that our school district is doing this.
And let me be clear, they're shamed by whom exactly? The administration?
By fellow students, by administrators.
Because girls do not want to change next to a biological male.
Right.
They're being shamed by other left-leaning students and the administrators. Adults, the administrators, think this is a good idea.
They're mocked and called names by other students. They're told by the administrators, if you don't like it, you can leave and you can carry your clothes with you and walk to the nurse's office. The other students are treated, the students who aren't comfortable in their biological locker room and want into the opposite sex locker room are treated much, much better. And that's not how school districts are supposed to be run. They're supposed to treat all students equally.
All right. For such a time as this community, please pray. Vicki, give that time and location again for our viewers.
It's Palatine High School, Thursday, September 19th. Meeting starts at 7:30, but we're really recommending people arrive as early as possible. We're asking people to wear red to show support for all students, because red is the color of love.
Red. And
as Christians, we love everybody. So we are asking people to wear red to show love for all students and the dignity and well-being of all students. So.
And again, for such a time as this community, it strikes right at the heart of God's basic truth. God created the male and female. And one of the things in this issue and this topic that always gets me is that we're labeled as those who believe in Judeo-Christian value. We're labeled as the haters. Excuse me, God loves those children. Those children aren't mistakes. We aren't the one saying that these children are mistakes. The other side is saying that the child is born in the wrong body, and it's just simply not true. So I agree with you. We love all the children. Really what this boils down to is, I think, the misguided adults who don't have enough moral clarity to hold to the most basic of biological and spiritual truths. God created the male and female. There's two. Right. So thank you, Vicki. Go ahead. Last word.
And I was just going to say that we have shown compassion through all of this. And unfortunately, it hasn't been returned. Yeah. And but we will continue to show compassion for all students. That's what we do. Yeah. And what's really horrible is these kids, I've heard from people who felt this way as kids for years, and then the feelings went away. Yeah. And they're so grateful that they didn't grow up today, because they know they would have been put on hormones, sterilized, and had healthy body parts cut off. Yeah. So to do this to children whose brains are still forming is really a form of child abuse. Yeah. It's not loving. It's not loving.
And those who are affirming children like you are, I think we're the ones that truly love the children. We love the children.
Yes.
We love the children. So thank you very much, Vicki. Please, if you cannot make it, and again, remember, New Hope Community Church is actually in District 211. I had a son that attended Palatine High School. And so please, if you cannot make it, please pray for those who are going to be there. Thank you, Vicki. And please, if you are in the district, please come out and show your support. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
For such a time as this,